Alright, what's going on, guys? We're back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be comparing the Winterray to the Tesla Flora. Now, the reason why I'm going to be doing this comparison today is because they have recently buffed the Winterray flower in a very overpowered way. Basically, it had a 2000 DPS increase, and on top of that they also added a 25% slow, and they made it cheaper to place down, going from 4,000 to 3,000. Alright, so the first way we're going to compare the Tesla Flora to the Winterray flower is we are going to do a 10 spider test. So I'm going to put down all 4 of these Winterrays, and then I'm going to send out 10 enemies, just like so, and you can just see how much damage it does afterwards. So it's doing 6,000 to all these enemies every 2 seconds, which is kind of insane. Alright, so they end up with like 750k health. Each one of these Winterrays did around 1.9 million, so in total they did about 7.4 million damage to those enemies. And now if I just do the naked test for Tesla Flora, 10 of them, you can see what happens here. On top of Tesla not having a slow, it's also just doing less DPS, and because the Winterray flowers tornadoes were able to hit all of these enemies at the same time, it ends up being more effective. So if we look at this did 2.4 million, this did 2.3 million, which ends up being 4.7 million. So that's a really big difference. It's literally completely backwards. This did 7.4 million, this did 4.7 million, which is kind of insane. To do another proper test that would kind of put Winterray at a little bit of a disadvantage, I'm going to send out even more enemies. And I'm also going to add a slow like Auranji, just because you're usually going to have another unit that slows down enemies if you're not only going to use Winterray flower. So let me send out like 20 enemies. All right, now we can see in this situation how it works out. They actually might be able to kill it. I didn't think of that. Honestly though, like having that slow, it ended up stacking. All right, let's see. 4.5 million, 4.4, 4.3. So this ended up doing 17.4 million damage with 20 spiders, and I also included an Auranji, so having that slow just so that it's kind of fair when you compare it to the Tesla. Now if I do an Auranji with 2 Teslas, we're going to see how that works out. Send out 20 enemies. All right, here we go. All right, let's see how much. 7 million, and this one 6.8 million. That ends up being 13.87 million, so it still ends up being better than Tesla Flora. I think the only situation where Tesla Flora would be better is if you have 10 crazy bosses over here and then you have stuff that's still coming out. But usually in most situations you would have stalls and other things that would actually help out the Winterray to be better than the Tesla. Now if we talk about cost efficiency of the Winterray and Tesla, Winterray does 54 DPS per $1,000 spent after the buff, and Tesla Flora does 66 DPS per $1,000 spent, which means that the Tesla Flora is still a little bit better when it comes to cost efficiency. Now just to do a more in-depth comparison of these units in an actual game mode, I'm going to be trying to solo Toxic Facility with both of these units on Impossible, see which one can actually do it and which one can do it more efficient, because they might both be able to do it. I'm really not sure. I'm going to start with Lawnmower. I kind of feel like they made the map brighter for some reason. I don't remember it being this bright. I haven't been on Toxic Facility in a long time though, just because like there's so many maps that are better. Oh, I had it on 1x. Oops. So many maps that get better seed rewards, but I kind of wish that they had like a new mode for every single map, or they had like, there was like a way that you could get the same amount of seeds so that I could play Toxic Facility again, because I really like this map. All right, got one of those down. I should be able to just go straight into a Winterray flower pretty easily. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off auto skip at wave 9, just because wave 10 is like obnoxious with that little cricket that comes out. Perfect. Probably place it like here would be good. Okay, let me turn it off right now, just for a bit. Once they get to like here, I can turn it back on, I think. All right, let's see. Trying to upgrade this guy in time. I pray. 2, 3, 4. Oh, W. That was really good. I don't even know if Tesla can do that. That's so satisfying. Let me put one up here now. Oh, that's satisfying. Yeah, that's really good. I can already feel a difference, even at just level 2. Oh my gosh, bro. To think back to when we just had a Volt Shade, like, this thing is so much better than a Volt Shade. Almost 2-tap those guys. And then this is such like a good adaptable unit, just because if you don't have any other slows, having just a Winterray could be all you needed with the 25%. It actually feels really cheap to upgrade it as well. I feel like the only situation where a Tesla Flora will outweigh a Winterray flower is just in survival, because Winterrays don't really work properly in survival, unfortunately. I'm very surprised they buffed this unit though, because it was in a good spot, and it was very comparable to Tesla already. I just think that this kind of pushes it over the edge. And like even here, I mean, it's doing 12k DPS. It's just so good. Now it doesn't hit those guys, and Tesla might actually do better in that situation. I do gotta move some stuff. Not really too much actually though. I could just move that. Wave 40, this is the big one to see which one actually performs better. All right. Already kill everything. Just have that guy left. I'm just gonna micro it. Go. Oh, I put a Tesla down. Oops. All right. 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That was extremely easy. The fact that you can beat this with one single godly in 5 minutes is kind of insane. All right. And now we're going to see how the Tesla performs compared to that. No, I don't think I'm going to get enough money. You can't even use Tesla, can you? I don't think you can. Dang. Maybe I'll start with a Winterray just so I can get to a Tesla. That's already like one clear thing that you can see. Even though the cost efficiency for a Winterray is worse, it's harder to start with Tesla because the first few upgrades are more expensive, which is the biggest thing. Like, this is so sad, but it's just better. Like, yeah, right after I'm done using the Winterray, I'm just gonna switch into a Tesla. I feel like you actually have to use it. All right, can I sell it for enough? Yeah, I can. See, once I get the third upgrade, then the Tesla Flora cost efficiency, you can just tell it's better. But it's harder to start with Tesla, I guess. Now, this should feel pretty similar to the Winterray for most of the run. It's really just the final wave that we could kind of see. Oh, I guess like stuff like this too. Like this boss has already gotten further. I can just tell. Still holding up pretty good here. Now we're doing 10k DPS, but it does have a tiny bit more AoE than Winterray, just because Winterray has its tornadoes to a limited range. Wave 35, the big boss. I want to see this. Maybe a big difference here. We got no slow. It's doing 2k less DPS. We get it to 200k before. So I'm just gonna put one Tesla back here, and that should be good enough. And then this one should be able to cover the front. Oh no, that's actually gonna be annoying to deal with. But Tesla goes strong right there. Let's see how this boss goes. Pretty strong. All right. Trying to micro the same way I did the Winterrays. Oh my gosh, this is like so much harder to deal with. Wait, we actually might lose. I kind of wasn't expecting this. It's mainly because of the Winterray slow, I'll be honest, but I mean, you're also just losing that DPS. Yeah, there's definitely a difference. I'm not sure about PvP. I'm not sure about every game mode. In like normal game modes like Endless and Classic mode, the Winterray is definitely better. This Winterray buff was honestly massive, and I feel like going forward, I might even use it instead of Tesla Flora in situations like playing Dojo, playing Endless, maybe even playing PvP. I'm really not sure just because of Super Tesla. The only way that Tesla ends up being better than the Winterray is just in survival mode. So if y'all like that game mode, you can definitely stick to the Tesla, but it's definitely not a bad idea to invest in Winterray flower, because I think currently the value is like 5k, and I know it's going to skyrocket, so you want to make sure to pick up these before they go up in value like crazy. I think eventually they'll probably hit like 10k. This thing can literally solo Toxic Facility on its own completely. If I had to give a rating for these units, I would say that a Tesla Flora is a 10 out of 10. It is a very good unit. It's very versatile. It has good cost efficiency, good DPS, and then I would give the Winterray an 11 out of 10 because it's just a little bit better than Tesla, you know, 2,000 more DPS. It has that slow, you know, it's better early game and end game. It's better in most situations. The only time that it gets outweighed by Tesla is in survival. All right, and that's going to be it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe. I'm doing a Winterray giveaway on my Discord, so make sure to check that out. I'm giving away 3, and I will see you guys in the next one.